Now, Keir Starmer has been accused of cronyism after publishing his list of 25 new peers for the House of Lords.
Yes, Conservatives and Liberal Democrats were also allowed to put forward suggestions, but Reform UK were barred from nominating supporters. It led to Nigel Farage saying he's more determined than ever to smash the political establishment.
Earlier, we spoke to the Shadow Energy Secretary. I tell you what, we'll listen to Claire Coutinho later, because what I don't want to do is leave the Minister waiting out in the cold. It's the Minister for Local Government and English Devolution, Alison McGovern. Good to see you this morning, Minister. I mean, I'm fascinated by all of this, because when the Tories were doing such a thing and stuffing the House of Lords with Tory members to make sure they could get their legislation through, the Labour Party said it was a carousel of cronyism. So what's different when you're in the hot seat?
What's different is about the way that we have approached changing the House of Lords. So we have been trying to remove the hereditary peers. I think most people would find it really shocking that in 2025 we still have people who've inherited their right to legislate. We're changing that. We're also bringing forward proposals that will limit the length of time people can spend in the House of Lords, making sure that they retire at least at 80. So we are changing the House of Lords and we'll go further. The issue is, after 14 years of Conservative government and the number of people that they put in the House of Lords, it is in no way balanced in the way that it ought to be constitutionally. We were elected on a manifesto. We should be able to get our manifesto commitments through the House of Lords. We're appointing new peers from various walks of life, along with other parties. That is, at the moment, the only way that people can be put into the House of Lords, and that is how we're responding to the situation that we face.
Well, when we were speaking to Claire Coutinho from the Conservative Party earlier on in the programme, she was saying that the reason that you are packing the House of Lords full with Labour peers is to push through unmandated policies. Very unpopular policies as well, net zero, full-term abortion, assisted dying, and the like. Is it dishonest with the electorate if you don't have the mandate for it?
I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear what you just said on abortion there, but I simply do not recognise what you said there. I don't know if Claire Coutinho said that, but overall, you know, my response to Claire Coutinho, if she's talking about this issue, would be that she has more front than Blackpool, quite frankly.
There's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GB News viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code now. Remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds. But ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. So why choose ExpressVPN? Well, it couldn't be easier to use. With just one click, you are protected. And ExpressVPN uses military-grade AES 256 encryption, which is the same standard trusted by the US government to guard their classified information. With their new tiered plans, you can protect up to 14 devices at once and manage passwords securely. Live chat support is available 24/7, and it typically connects you in under a minute with a real person. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN, plus 4 months extra for free. Start protecting yourself today with ExpressVPN.
Given the way that the Conservative Party cycled through Prime Ministers, cycled through Chancellor of the Exchequers. They didn't change our country. They left us with an absolute crisis, with a million more children growing up in poverty, with rough sleeping, and kids in B&B, totally inappropriate accommodation going through the roof. That is the problem that the Labour Party is having to fix, to clean up after 14 years of Tory misrule. So if I was Claire Coutinho, I would think about saying sorry for some of those things before she started to lecture other people.
But the point she was making was that with things like assisted dying and decriminalising full-term abortions and things of that nature, it wasn't in the manifesto, and these are the issues that you're struggling to get through the House of Lords.
You've mentioned two issues there that are issues of conscience, that are dealt with by Parliament on a non-partisan basis, because we have a long-standing convention that those are issues of conscience. On assisted dying, that is a private member's piece of legislation. On abortion, I think it is wrong. I don't recognise your characterisation of the policy. I think it is wrong that women ought to be criminalised for their healthcare needs. And I think the most important thing is that we rebuild our health service so that it's able to take care of people in this country, which is what we have been doing with 5 million more appointments.
Can I ask you about the Birmingham bin strikes? As Minister for Local Government, 9 months the day since these strikes began. The city streets are in a state, a soaring cost to the taxpayers. In fact, it's been revealed this morning that the council is paying 3 times as much now for collections because they're having to outsource those bin collections. At what point is the government going to intervene to get this sorted?
Well, the government is already intervening in Birmingham. The previous government and ministers appointed commissioners before I was the Minister for Local Government. That means the government is directly intervening. The people of Birmingham deserve far better, and we want to see everybody coming together to try to resolve this, and we'll take steps to help that, because the most important thing is that people in Birmingham have a good quality service from their council. That's what the commissioners are there to assure, and I'll be watching over that process to make sure that that happens.
But it hasn't happened, has it? I mean, the previous government may have brought in commissioners, but not at the time of the strikes. It's been going on 9 months today, so since you've been in power, and to say, well, they're going to make sure it all happens 9 months in. And the council, and therefore the local residents, are now paying triple the cost to get these emergency services in to clean up the rubbish. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it's terrible. It shouldn't be going on in this way, and I want to see this being brought to an end. As I said just now, the government has already intervened. We already have commissioners, and we need to progress this issue with the level of urgency, because the people of Birmingham deserve better. Everybody should be able to rely on basic services that their council can provide. Unfortunately, beyond Birmingham, which has some specific issues, that's much less likely to be the case now because of 14 years of Tory town hall austerity. But specifically to Birmingham, we need all parties to sort this out, because 9 months is way too long.
You're here today to talk to us about this new strategy to halve rough sleeping and prevent thousands more households from becoming homeless. This is a difficult task, potentially even impossible. How are you planning to do it?
So we're announcing a £3.5 billion strategy to get us back on track to ending homelessness. That was our manifesto commitment, so we're bringing forward our plan to expedite those efforts. The vast majority of that money is for councils. The reason for that is because they bear the legal duty to help people if they're at risk of homelessness. There's also new money to help with innovation. But crucially, we're setting ourselves 3 new targets today. That is to get kids out of B&B accommodation. Going into Christmas, who in this country thinks that a child should be housed in perhaps one room, maybe with a kitchen and bathroom on a different floor? So we need to end, in all but the most urgent circumstances, the use of B&Bs for our kids. We've also got big problems with rough sleeping, so we want to halve the number of long-term rough sleepers, because more and more now people are staying on the streets for longer, so we've got to target that issue. Underneath this all is a goal to prevent homelessness properly. We want to increase the rate at which, if somebody does go to their council and says, I think I might become homeless, we want to increase the rate at which the council can stop that happening, because the best policy on homelessness is to stop it before it starts. Those are our new goals. We've backed it with money, and I am confident that we can make progress over the months and years to come.
Minister, we're out of time, but we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.